So today, now that you guys are experts at solving multi-step equations, we're gonna add in some fractions and decimals. So today we'll focus on those decimals, and then on Monday we'll focus on the fractions. You guys actually have a head start on this because usually we do not teach how to clear decimals and fractions until this lesson. But we decided to teach it to you guys when we were doing two-step equations. That way you had seen it before we got here. So I think this will be an easier transition for you guys, okay? So I'm just gonna start with an example and we'll go from there. Okay, there's our first problem. What should I multiply both sides by? Kara? 100. Is that what you guys were gonna say too? Yeah. Okay, the biggest decimal place, you have two place values here, so I would agree. I would multiply by 100 to clear all of those decimals. So this is going to become 730, 370n, 490, and 1,812. Okay. Now that we've cleared the decimals, we're going to approach this just like we have over the last couple of days. We're going to distribute if we need to, combine like terms, get our variables to one side, and solve it. Now, in this case, there's no grouping, so we can go ahead and just combine like terms. So this will be 370n plus 1,220, I believe. Okay. Now we have a two-step equation. Let's just go ahead and solve it. I'm going to subtract 1,220 from both sides. And this will be 592. And then I'll divide both sides by 370. I'm going to talk to the other accelerated math teacher to see if we want to just let you guys use calculators. Because solving multi-step equations takes a long time in general as it is, and if you're having to do like long division and things like that, it's just going to slow you down. Okay, so I'll chat with her today and let you guys know on Monday. So 592 divided by 370 is 1.6. See, that's one of the reasons why I think it would be good for you guys to be using a calculator. Because you could check it if you were using a calculator, but if you were doing it by hand, it would take a long time. Because you would have to do decimal multiplication, then you'd have to add all those decimals up. It would just take a long time. Yeah, Trent?
So on the homework, why do we have an answer checker? Why do we have to check our answers if we get it right in the answer checker?
Because you won't always have an answer checker. And you need to make sure that you can check your own answer as well. And actually, in past years, I haven't, this is the one unit, like the equations unit, I wouldn't give the answers to. But I just felt like it would be better if I just did that. That way you guys could double check your own answers and use the answer checker. All right. So let me give you one problem to try. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm going to chat with the other teacher. I think she'll be on board too. Okay, try this one. 3.6b minus 2.2b is equal to 4.76. What'd you guys get on this?
3.4.
3.4? Yeah, that looks right. And if you were going to check your answer for this, you could use a calculator and do 3.6 times 3.4 minus 2.2 times 3.4 and see if it equals 4.76, okay? Like if you were going to check your answer, if you have access to a because like I said, I don't want you to check your answer by hand because it will take forever. I mean, you can, but if you were to use a calculator, you could plug it in and simplify it and make sure it was correct. Okay, now there is one special situation that I need you to make you aware of for when you're clearing decimals, and that is when you have grouping, when there are parentheses in your problem. So let me show you an example of what I mean. Okay. Now, whenever you have grouping like this, first of all, what am I going to multiply both sides by? 10. 10, yes, because I only see one decimal place. That's the biggest decimal place I see. So when I multiply both sides by 10, I am only going to multiply the number outside of the parentheses. I am not going to multiply 4n and negative 2 by 10. The reason is once I've multiplied this by 10 and then I distribute it, I'm basically also distributing the times 10. But if I go through and I multiply this by 10, this by 10, and this by 10, and then I distribute, I've basically multiplied everything inside of the parentheses by 100. And now my equation is imbalanced. So that's the one kind of special situation you're going to run into when you have that grouping. You only multiply the number on the outside of the parentheses by 10. Yes, Irvin?
Why don't we put the parentheses only on the negative 2.2?
You can, if that helps you. But there might be more happening on this side in other problems. You might have negative 2.2 parentheses 4n minus 2 parentheses, and then like plus 2n or something. And so you would then need to multiply this and then the other term that's not in the parentheses.
So no multiplying in the parentheses?
Yeah, just don't multiply the things inside the parentheses and you'll be good to go. And I'll do more examples like this on Monday and show you some other, just make sure we're like super solid on it. So when I do this, I'm only going to multiply this number up front. It's going to be negative 22 times 4n minus 2. And then this will be 368 and 74n. Okay, now I've gotten rid of all of my decimals, and I'm going to just solve these how I've been solving them all along. I'm going to distribute first, combine like terms, and then move my variables over, solve my two-step equations. So I always distribute first. This is negative 88n plus positive 44. I actually don't need to combine any like terms because it's already in simplest form on both sides. So I'm going to move my variables to one side. I'm going to choose to move the negative 88n just because when I add 88n to both sides, it will make everything positive. And I like things to be positive. So we're left with 44 over here. And then we have 368 plus 162n. I'm going to subtract 368 from both sides. I'm left with negative 324 is equal to 162n. And I believe that when I divide this, I just get a negative 2. So negative 2 is equal to n. Any questions for me on that? All right, I'm going to have you practice one real quick before we wrap things up. So negative 4.8 times 1 plus 2n is equal to negative, oops, sorry, there shouldn't be a parentheses there. How do I mess you guys up? All right, go ahead and try that, you guys.
Is there a last problem?
What if I told you there was 10 more?
I wouldn't believe you.
Wise boy.
Is it negative 22.0?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I made a mistake and then I was trying to wipe part of it out. Yeah, that's a negative. What'd you guys get?
5.4.
Awesome. Good job. If you didn't get 5.4, make sure you know why. And I'm happy to help you too with it if you need it.